Welcome to the School of Wordcraft and Worldmancy. This is Feedback Frenzy.
Hello, I'm WriterGreg, and welcome to the School of Worldcraft and Worldmancy. It is a feedback frenzy. Thank you so much for being here. And it is another day, so if you would like to have your content featured in a future episode, please go ahead and visit wgc.bz/submit, where you too can submit your content for a future feedback frenzy, as I, absolutely failed to turn off my, turn off my phone. All right. So thank you so much to James, who has submitted this article for us to critique this morning. Oh, Alcademia. Speaking of pronunciations, presume, yeah, Alcademia. You know what? So again, okay, so this looks like a pretty straightforward article here. Okay, so we have a nice graphic here. We have some content. Some call-outs. This is nice. Purification. Interesting. So this looks like we're going to get into some really cool hard science. No, hard fantasy. Hard magic. I kind of like hard magic. Soft magic is kind of cool too. But I don't know why. Maybe it's my Brandon Sanderson fanboy that deep inside of me, but I like hard magic systems. The material laws are physical laws that govern the art of alchemy. These laws are to do with things such as transmutation and purification, as well as using programmable alchemical apparatus. Okay, these laws, you could probably simplify this a lot. Sorry, let me just turn this on. You could probably simplify this a lot, saying these laws, are to do with things such as, these laws apply to. These laws apply to transmutation and purification, as well as using, being used in, not sure if using is the best one right there. But yeah, that could be greatly simplified. Okay, with the programmable alchemical apparatus, it governs what elements can appear. Those which are radioactive cannot be created through the use of alchemy. Interesting. I prefer hard. I know what I'm doing with hard. Okay. But I like this rule that you have here, James, that you can't make radioactive things. Interesting. I like that. It's an interesting, that's interesting. Let's delete this so we can then scroll down. All right, transmutation. Okay, a portion of the poster to do with the material laws by James Woodwright. Yeah, very nice. Okay, so we have arrows going up and arrows going down. This looks like it was done in a spreadsheet. Yeah, this is good. As well as programmable alchemical apparatuses. Thank you, Moonflower. I think that, yes, that is a much better way that I couldn't think about. Yes, Google Sheets. Yeah. I really like the ability to use tools that help us quickly without actually doing that. Maybe not their intended purposes, like using a spreadsheet to make graphics. Transmutation works either by giving lead or another metal on the metal's ladder to receive one metal higher up on the ladder, with the lead being replaced with mercury. Downwards by giving a metal which is on the ladder and mercury into a transmutation glyph. When inserting lead or iron, okay, we have lead and iron, into either of the inputs gives you mercury and copper outputs. Okay. When inserting mercury or copper into either elements gives you lead and iron as outputs. Okay. Transmutation works on either by giving lead or another metal on the metal ladder to receive one metal higher up the ladder, with the lead being replaced by mercury. Downwards by giving the metal on which is on lead and mercury into transmutation glyph. Okay. Into what? Okay, so when I think of a ladder, you have three paths here. Okay, you have tin, lead. Oh, you have three things here, and you have the arrows that kind of go up and down. So I'm a little bit confused on. Usually, a ladder when is just for one person going straight up. So just so I get it right, during transmutation, you turn lead to mercury in order to turn your input metal into one of the above on the ladder. The ladder is the middle column. Okay. But see, then you see when inserting lead or iron into either of the inputs, you get mercury and copper. Mercury. Oh, okay. So tin plus lead equals iron. Yeah, so that's what I'm wondering. So I insert tin and lead into the machine. The lead turns into mercury and the tin turns to iron. Okay, tin plus lead equals iron. So, okay, Saturn says, so I'd insert lead and tin into the machine. The lead turns to mercury and the tin turns to iron. Okay, let's delete this again. If you put these two items in, you will get, it goes like this. If you put these two items in, it goes like that. So to get gold, you need to put silver and lead into the machine. The lead turns to mercury and the silver turns to gold. Okay. I really think this is cool. I love this. It was a little hard to understand. And while I like the ladder concept that you have here, it may be better to do it like a. Okay, I can hear that in chatting with you. You might want to classify lead and mercury as reagents. Yes. See, lead and mercury are what, and by reagents, I believe, is that like a catalyst? Or is the catalyst the machine? Okay, so what I'm thinking, James, is that you would need to have, you could describe it like this. You have this plus this equals this plus this, okay? So you have your tin and lead, and that gives you iron and, is it mercury, Me, or Mu? Okay, whatever, you know, Hg. Okay, thank you. Mercury's Hg. Okay, so this could be a good, this is what you could have. The use of the, I got a D. Well, my chemistry is about 30 years ago, so let's just um, okay, so I think if you had something like this, and you could still have the ladder. Let's turn this off. Let's delete all of this. Okay, I like, this part here. I think this is good, that where you could, where you have the ladder. I like this, the tin to iron, the copper to silver, okay, to gold. Okay, I like this. These lead and mercuries on the side are a little bit confusing. So for simplicity's sake, I would just have this middle part be the graphic. And you could literally like draw it like a ladder where you have the gold, the silver, the copper, the iron, and the tin, something like that. But then in the paragraphs that we have here, then you just describe the reagents, I believe is the correct term, where you saying you take, if you take tin, you could say lead plus tin goes up to iron plus, Hg, mercury, something like that. Yeah. Okay, all right. So, yeah, okay, so I love the concept. It just took me a while to get there. Satrium says, and then you could write something like, the machine will turn iron into mercury to transform the metal up one step. It will turn mercury into iron. In order to transform the metal down one step the ladder. One metal. Okay, receive one metal higher up. Lead will be replaced by mercury. Downwards by giving the metal which is on the ladder and mercury. Okay, and transmute glyphs. Okay. I would put two different subsections in here. Up and down. Up the ladder, down the ladder. Down, it's mercury gives you lead. Right. So on the way down, if you put in, on the way down, you put iron. If you put, come on. I swear. Did I turn on the eraser? I did turn on the eraser. So on the way down, if you put mercury plus iron in and it's going down, then you would get lead and tin. I think what I'm trying to say is to disconnect the two reactions in your writing, make them separate, and it might be easier to understand. Correct. Yeah, we need to have a section under transmutation. We need to have a section that we have like an up and a down. Okay, having examples of each. Having the reactants here and the outputs does kind of make this diagram a little bit more confusing, but I really like the concept. It would be interesting to also to know exchanges. If you put 1 kilo of iron, how much lead do you need? Okay, is it equal lead to iron? And then how much do you get out? Do you get half a kilogram of mercury? Do you get a quarter of mercury? Kilogram? You know, because if you could for 5 kilos of lead, if you could take a kilo of tin and 5 kilos of that, and you could just work your way all up through the ladder, and you still have a kilo of gold. Holy cow! But if you had a kilo, if it like goes into half, you'd have to have, like, if you had, I'll try to keep the math simple. If you had 256 kilos, then it went to 100 and no, 100, yeah, 100 and let me do it the other way. If you had 1 kilo of gold, it would require 2 kilos of silver, which would require 4 kilos of copper, which would require 16 kilos of that, and then I think 256. I think is like that. I know. Me, 2x is a programmer. Yes, exactly. Thank you, Satrium. Thank you, James. But so, yeah, so it would be interesting to know this kind of mathematics, because if it was just 1, 1, 1, 1, dude, gold would be worthless. Okay, but if you're saying it takes 256 kilograms of did I do that wrong? What is 16 squared? 1, 2. Well, yeah, it could be either by multiplication, 1 times 2, that could be multiplication where it's just kind of linear, or it could be exponential. I was doing squares. Yeah, James, I was doing, this is your 2 to the 0, 2 to the first, 2 to the second, 2 to the fourth, 2 to the fifth. I agree, Satrium. I think having it be exponential growth required, I think would would allow gold to remain valuable. Okay. But one question I have, and this is just, which is more common, tin or iron? I have no idea. But does iron and tin need to be switched? Because I hear about iron all the time. I don't hear a lot about tin. Not quite right. 2 to the first, 2 to the second, 2 to the fourth, 2 to the eighth, 2 to the 16th. Whoa. Okay, 2 to the 32nd, 2 to the 32nd. What is that? That is like some serious, that's a huge number. Oh, you double the exponent if you want to have the way that I was describing it. Okay. Yeah, that's 4 billion. You would need to have 4 billion kilograms of tin to make 1 kilogram of gold. So again, hard fantasy here. It's just some interest and doing the math. I love this about science fiction and fantasy. Exponential growth is insane. Okay, so yeah. But see, James, this is an opportunity for you to figure out how insane you want your growth to be. I think I did one step too much. 10 is 2 to the 16th. Okay, well, but I think you excellently made your point that we do need to be reasonable. Because even if we were talking about ounces or, okay, 65,000, yay for calculators. Because I have a brain freeze from my strawberry popsicle. But if the skill is only known by the few, then you have a powerful few with the gold thing being worthless. Ooh, that is true, because you have to have the machine. The programmable alchemical apparatus. If you don't have the machine, none of this is to the point. But you do have to worry about inflation, because if you are putting a lot of gold into the economy, then gold becomes worth less. One of the reasons why using gold, or a gold standard, is actually really good is because there is a finite gold is a finite resource, and thus it becomes more valuable. You could just go with 2 to the x power, so gold is, yeah, gold 1, so yeah, and I think, so gold would be 2 to the 1, 2 to the 2, 2 to the 3, 2 to the 4, 2 to the 5. Yeah, it's still exponential, but not as crazy. Oh, James, I love this topic. Okay, let's get to talk to purification. I think we've really exhausted that without having James doing an answer that. I will pick numbers, thanks. Okay, purification. With purification, salt, sodium chloride, sodium 11, chlorine 17, are alchemically combined to make nickel, and then subtracted from the non-metal part of the salt. For example, copper sulfate. The sulfur would be subtracted from the nickel, making magnesium 12. The copper is ignored as it is the metal part of the salt. Ugh. Okay. If D&D is all about math, making math fun, then James's world is all about making chemistry fun. The end product is copper 20 copper. What are the numbers behind it? Is that the alchemical number? Sodium is a metal. Atomic number. Oh, okay. Sodium plus chloride equals nickel. Oh, but you're adding the alchemical numbers together. Nickel minus sulfur equals magnesium. Oh, okay. Okay. Chemistry is just applied physics, and physics is just applied maths. I know countless people would hate me for this comment. um, okay, so James, I need to break the world a little bit here, or ask a question about this world. Does this world know about the periodic table? I'm presuming it does. Okay. Usually, when you talk about alchemy, you can't transmutate elements. That's why they're elements. But this, it seems like they know about it. It's because they can do the simple math. If they know about atomic numbers, if they know about the periodic table, and they can just do this simple math here of atomic numbers, then they would need to know about that. They would have this information and would need to, and then thus you could use that here in your description. Okay, so sodium chloride. So this just turns salt. If you poured salt into your purification machine, nickel would come out. If you then you could take nickel. Well, how do you subtract the sulfur? Hence, radioactives can't be made. Okay. Okay. All right, we're running out of time on my self-imposed timer. Okay, what is awesome? Yes, I love the hard magic and the chemistry. I love that. I love the scientific aspect to it. I just really like it. Boring? No. This was just fun. Confused? Unfortunately, yes, there was a lot of confusion. We need to have better examples, more math. We need more subsections, especially with the ladder going up and down. We really need to know more about. We need to have better examples of that, simplifying the graphic, being able to add all of that in there. I wouldn't delete anything. No, I would exchange a lot of things for the sake of clarification and stuff like that. Satrium, James, if you want help out with some math, feel free to hit me up. Hey, I love this community. Expand. Yeah, we need more subheaders, subsections. We need to know a little bit more about the machine, because like, is there a setting to go up the ladder and down the ladder? Is it a different machine, or is it the same machine where you pour in the salt and you get nickel out? That's in glyphs. Okay. Then we would at least need to have some more reference in saying, you know, the glyph, there's a glyph used. There is a glyph to use to go up the ladder. There's a different glyph for going down the ladder. There's a separate glyph for adding. There's a separate glyph for subtracting. I don't understand how the subtracting works. Adding makes sense because you take the NaCl, the sodium chloride, and that turns into nickel based on the atomic number. Yeah, and we need to talk about the atomic number as well. So that I understand that, but I don't understand the subtraction. Okay, so how did you subtract sulfur from? How did you subtract sulfur from the? Yeah, how did you subtract the sulfur 16 from nickel? Or like if you just wanted to go down one step. Okay. I gotta really ask this question. Okay. Periodic table. Where's gold? Okay, running out of time, but see, where's gold? Gold. AT. Oh, there's gold. Okay, so gold is. Okay, now I need my calculator because this is cool. Okay, so if gold is 47. No, gold is 79. I'm sorry. So okay, so 79 minus 47 equals 32, which 32 is germanium. So if you could use this purification, if you had silver and germanium, which is, I don't know if that's a natural element, you could turn silver into gold using germanium. Okay, so and silver is 47 minus 29, which is 18. You could use 18. You could use argon, one of the noble gases. You could put argon and copper together to make silver. Am I off? Am I off the rocker here? Because instead of going up and down the alchemical ladder, as I'm understanding purification, you could do that as well. Because if you wanted to take titanium and turn it into chromium, if you took titanium, which is 24 plus helium, you could get chromanium. If you took chromanium and helium, you could get iron. And see, yeah, and Moonflower brings up a good question. I think purification is for compounds. Okay, that would need to be a rule that would need to be established. Purification is is not for elements. Yeah, copper sulfate plus salt equals magnesium and copper. Right. So this is for having molecules or compounds or things like that to reduce down to the base elements. Right. Okay. So so that kind of an explanation would also be really cool. You're doing addition, which is glyph stuff that is not purifications. Okay, well, then, again, really cool stuff. I hope to see this article again in the when you feel ready to do this again. I think this was really cool. Okay. Yeah, okay, personally, this is just up my wheelhouse. I just really like this. Okay, so I will add a quote to the homepage. Is that the making chemistry fun comment? Okay, James, really enjoyed this article. I hope you can tell that. So thank you so much, James, for submitting your world building article. And my first attempt to keep it under 30 minutes failed gloriously, but it was really fun to see that. All right, so thank you so much, everyone. I hope you have a great day. If you'd like to have your content fawned over or critiqued like this, please visit wgc.bz/submit, where you too can have your content reviewed, critiqued, brainstormed, torn apart, built back together, whatever it may be. So thank you so much, James, for your article. Thank you, everyone, for watching. And until next time, have a great day. Bye.
Thanks for watching this feedback frenzy. Be sure to show your support by liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and clicking the notification bell. WriterGreg offers coaching sessions to help bring your world to life, create compelling stories, and accomplish your creative goals. Please visit wgc.bz/coaching for more details.